I felt really called to make this message, and it's going to be about specifically about divine connections or so called higher soulmates and such connections versus karmic connections. And one thing that I want people to notice if they resonate with having been in touch with such energies, okay, and probably you'll know. Well, probably you will. So, when somebody is with a karmic, and that's the usual, okay? First, we are with karmics, but then when there's a sign for either us to elevate or we've been too for too long in our faded presence, not fated, but faded presence, okay? Yeah, mark those words. Then Spirit might want to push, and by spirit I mean the universal energies, might want to push you out of that state. And what happens is that a soulmate pops up, and usually and frequently, a higher energy soulmate is of the energy to help elevate the other. And it happens by the energetic interaction. Well, basically, being in the presence of the person. They can just like walk by, that's enough, you know? So, yeah, that's like the phenomena of this stuff. Like the light touches the shadow, and the shadow is enlightened. And this is the part of a shadow work. The light touches the shadow, and the shadow is suddenly enlightened. And the person starts to think and observe and gets more aha moments and understandings. Like, what is happening with my life? Where am I? What am I doing? You know? And they start to introspect, get in touch with their soul, understand the aspects of their life where they have been wrong, where they have been wronged, and they allowed that. And where they have wronged themselves, and they allowed that. And to continue, and what I actually wanted to mention first and foremost, that's a process, right? But one of the most important parts is this, to understand how a soulmate stands in front of you. Well, figuratively in front of you, because they ain't gonna stand there forever. Neither they're going to stand there like, like something, like freaking beacon of light. Gazing! No, not really. So, you can understand that by one simple fact. And this is like a random current at first, but then you see a pattern. This really happens. And as a worker with energies like that, I've seen people experiencing this. It's like when you're with a karmic and a soulmate steps in, an energy that's supposed to elevate you, to help you get out of the rut, to get in touch with your soul and yourself, do shadow work on your inner child, heal it, get more full of yourself, in touch with yourself, that beautiful bouquet, right? And basically, the core and stuff, and the work on the core, healing the core, understanding and getting in touch with your core, right? And it's for a reason, because usually it's to elevate the universal energies and the earthly vibes, because, well, we're living in a shit pit pretty much, especially right now. But, like, to continue, right? Basically, one really common thing is this. When a soulmate steps into a person's life, the karmic becomes demonic. And in the sense that I'm not like going to downplay like demons or stuff like that. No, it's like demonic in a sense, like in a trashy sense, like in a trash sense. They become fucking evil. They become more fucking spiteful. They have that bitch, like mean energy. I don't care if they're a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Or like some, like intersex. Well, it doesn't matter, okay? That would probably be really rare though. But, just saying. It doesn't matter. They become really spiteful. Because, confirmation. Because the soulmate energy is high vibrational. It doesn't have to be light energy as in light. There's high vibrational dark. There's divine feminine, there's dark feminine, but there's also the wombo combo. But the wombo combo is super extremely rare. That's the golden spear. I'm not going to talk about this here, but no, that's the most like that. That's like the most triggersome. But like, I'm not going to talk about this here. So basically, yeah, I mean, the karmic becomes absolutely demonic and spiteful. And the more in self work and wanting to work on themselves and get in touch with themselves becomes the person after getting in touch with the soulmate energy, the more fucking spiteful the karmic becomes. It even shows on the karmic's face. Like, literally, they look fucking evil. They start to look like a grudgy, evil witch. Like, in a bad meaning. Witches are great. But, like, holy. I'm telling you, that's a really frequent. Male, female, it doesn't matter. But the karmic starts to look like absolute trash and to act out more and more like an absolute trash of a being. And that's like the main current that gradually they become more and more spiteful, more and more evil, more and more controlling. They just want to control their freaking narrative. They'll just push it on to you. They'll become really acidic. They'll literally, bruh, like, that's the usual scenario. Because karmic is extremely triggered by the elevated energy. It's just like a natural. It's like in physics. Two components that are opposite and that trigger each other. And in the worst way possible. Like, it's not a good reaction. And if you are as low vibrational or have been as low vibrational for a long time as the karmic, then, well, obviously you'll also get triggered at first. And you might start to hate your soulmate. Or you have started to hate them before. But then suddenly you have that zing, that light voice in your head that, hey, what the fuck? And you wake up. And that's like the aha moment. And the more aha moments happen, the more you go towards your elevation and self help and the dynamics of cleansing, purifying your life from bullshit and the agenda that has been holding you back. And the more the karmic start to spite you. So, yeah, I don't know. I really felt called to say this. And I mean, if you're irritated and triggered by this energy and this saying, then, well, you know who you are. So, and you know in what energy you are. So, well, gotta deal with that somehow. Yeah, gotta deal with that somehow. Truly and really. But it's kind of scary sometimes. Like, I'm saying this with such irony, but it's kind of scary sometimes. And I've been in interaction with karmics myself, and I've seen that myself. And it's kind of scary sometimes. To what extent and how far people can go to drag you down, to suppress your power, to suppress your elevation, to suppress your purity, and your wish for something actually good, for your own self, and for the good of even both. But they don't want to go there because they're your karmic. They're not on the same vibration, and they're not going to be on the same vibration because they're not meant to. And these are different soul paths. These are different pathways, like in mechanics. These are different pathways. And the difference is too immense and too crucial for you to understand that they're not going to follow your pathway. They're going to out resonate your purpose, aka your pathway. They're going to try to make you stagnant, make you stop, for them to gain the control. Because karmics are usually people who resonate in strong ego hold. We're egocentric. And that's why people say they're there to hold you back. Because it's just their mechanism, how they do it. Because of their egocentric being and how much it out resonates with the purity of the motivation and with a good spectrum of motivation that out resonate out of materialistic purpose into something higher vibrational and to get in touch with something more metaphysical and actually soulful, because we gotta connect body, mind, soul. You can't just work on materialistic things and then expect yourself to elevate. So that's that about higher energies and soulful principles, and I hope this helped somebody. Thank you for listening.